one I've never had a chance to taste, and almost nobody has. It was only brewed once. They decided to retire it right away. My guess is it was probably a huge hassle to brew. This is their Raison D'Extra. Slide a little X in there and change the last E to an A, and everything else looks the same. I love some of the descriptions of this on this one. The simple stuff says lush and enjoyable now. Mind you, this was bottled on the Ides of March in 2007. It's nice it says bottled on right there for us. Ages with the best of them. But on the other side is the stuff that's a little bit scary, where it says, this bulbous brown-flavored ale was brewed with boatloads of big ol' raisins. And as we discovered with the Worldwide Stout in last week's episode, when they don't put their alcohol content on the label, I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. But you know what? We're going to take one for all of our viewers out there.
We're going to take one for the team.
And it does have that warning cap. This one is in bright neon green with the universal triangle warning us that be afraid, be very
It's an exclamation point
afraid.
with a dogfish as the base of the exclamation point. Oh, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow, that looks like beer.
Get a close-up on that one. Once again, we got that lovely copper color going on. The carbonation's a little more restrained.
Oh.
Wow.
You know what this reminds me of, Jeremy?
What's that?
In the aroma? This reminds me of what Santa Claus smelled like when it was still brewed by Hurlman in Switzerland. I remember it from the 80s, late 80s when I first had it. I immediately went right back to the Peculiar Pub on West 4th in Manhattan the first time I tried a Santa Claus. First time I would, part with that amount of money, say, it's the world's strongest beer, I've got to taste it, and that's exactly what the aroma was.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as the ones we had a couple of years ago. Yeah. It's changed since they changed brewers.
Yeah, since they moved, right.
It's a little bit cleaner, not quite as malty. This one is.
Oh, this is malt all over the place. And also the alcohol's way up front. You can definitely, it's right up in the sinuses, which is kind of similar to the dark Santa Claus as opposed to Hellas Santa Claus.
Yep.
But you're also getting a little bit of those oxidation notes, those, like you're talking about the raisins, the dark fruit. It's definitely coming through.
I mean, and this may actually have a little bit of oxidation, which wouldn't be surprising or even a problem at this point in time. It's adding to the character and the complexity of this beer. And this beer has been in the bottle for, a little over 4 years now. Wake me.
Wow. And there's heat. There's heat.
There is some heat in there, but it's appropriate heat. It's not hot. We keep going back to the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus is hot, just hot alcohol. This is very, very warming. I mean, it is a lot of alcohol. It's like drinking a fortified wine. In alcohol strength, my guess is it's got to be north of 15%.
Yeah, I would say.
There's just a little bit of carbonation, which actually makes the alcohol seem even stronger in this case, because it just takes it right into the sinuses. The head dissipated very, very quickly. Not surprising. No, actually, as I go to look at it, there's actually a really nice bead in there. It doesn't come across as being that.
And there's a little bit of effervescence going on too, which is surprising for a beer this strong. I mean, generally speaking, beers that get to this strength generally tend not to have much head retention, and this is the same, but it's got a little bit, and it's got a little bit of residual carbonation.
It's got an outrageous amount of legs. I mean, this is another one like last week where it was just slowly sliding off the glass. This is slowly sliding down.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. This it's got kind of a mincemeat pie quality to it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of got that heavy, dark fruit and kind of a little bit of a boozy quality to it. It's really
the better
lovely.
mincemeat made with rum.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost recalls a little bit like a Madeira even, because it's got that little bit of oxidation going on, and it's got those intense sugars. almost sherry-like, but more along the lines of the the Madeiras from the island of Madeira, off the coast of Portugal. Any suggestions on what you would do with this other than solve the problems of the world and forget about them in the morning when you woke up?
You know, this would work very well, like you're talking about a digestif, kind of an after dinner. Like, I don't know if this would work very well with paired with food or dessert, but more just kind of on its own after you've had everything and you're kind of sitting back, and you probably don't need more than 2 or 3 ounces of this thing.
No. A 12-ounce bottle split 4 ways would be more than enough for a digestif, after dinner drink to sit around with a couple of close friends and just kind of solve the world's problems.
Oh yeah.
And one of those we solved the world's problems last night, but nobody was taking notes. I think we got lucky and saved the best one for last accidentally.
Yeah,
this is my favorite of all of these. I completely missed this when it came out. Every time I pick it up, there's something new to think about and to taste and to enjoy and to contemplate. I mean, it's just a very contemplative, beverage. There's some where you just drink them because it's sitting in front of you. This one, you actually want to kind of sit back and think about. And well, Jeremy, I guess all good things must come to an end, and I suppose this is the end of our Dogfish Head, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been really wonderful, and I am all that much more ready to make a trek to Delaware and go get a bunch of their beer and half bushel of Maryland blue crab and go at it. Cheers.
Cheers.